This row, we knew that was going to happen before the documentary came out, and it appears the royals and the palace, there was a joint statement, wasn't there, from all three royal households. They're pretty unhappy.
Yes, it's very unusual for them to go together on these things. It's the second time, and the other was just a few weeks ago. I think that they've had enough of being attacked without speaking out. The Queen's idea of don't complain or explain has been a very strong one, but it doesn't work in today's modern world with so much social media. So they have talked together. What's interesting for me, really, is that the ending of a documentary is always the bit that stays with you. And they chose to use Meghan's lawyer to say that she wasn't a bully and she was wonderful to work with. So you get the gist of what the whole thing was all about, in my view. It's very biased towards anti-William, anti-Charles, and pro Meghan and Harry. So you have to wonder how that's come about.
Well, there's another part to go. I mean, one's thought about all this. Here's the Queen, who's had a bloody awful year, 95 years old, and she's dealing now with this.
Yes, I think it's absolutely shocking. And it's very, very wrong of the BBC to do it. This documentary has taken almost 2 years to produce, and it is quite out of date, I thought. They're at the moment trying to re-edit the second part because they've believed everything that Harry, Meghan and Omid have said about his book because of the case at the appeal court about the Mail on Sunday versus Meghan has come to fruition, and either we're going to be left with that they've got appalling memories or that they didn't tell the truth. They're waiting for the appeal court judge to decide that. But I think if you allow the lawyer of one side to speak, you have to actually let the other side have a say. And that's in the BBC guidelines. They should have done that. I don't believe they should have seen the whole documentary because freedom of the speech means that we journalists can say things that we think are sound and get on with it. But I think that what did this lawyer see the programme? Or was she just speaking because she's employed by Meghan? I mean, these are some of the questions. There are loads of the questions. Why did they call William work shy? I mean, he was work shy when he was a teenager, but he was also flying as an air pilot to aid people who'd been wounded. So he did very little. So you can't add up the number of engagements he did at that time. They also say that Harry was attacked, but we all should know, and it was written in large capital letters, that the press agreed not to go to see him or do anything about him or William while they were school leaving. So by the time they finished all that, the press did come back too aggressively, but they weren't attacking him during his teenage years to ruin him. There are lots of things. I found it very distressing, actually, because I think there is some sort of, I don't want to say undercurrent because it makes it look like sort of spies and burglars and stuff, but there is something that puts people forward now to end the monarchy after the Queen passes, and are very rude about Prince Charles, who is dedicated to his job and has amazing resilience to. We saw how many engagements they did in 4 days. I mean, he works incredibly hard, loves this country and loves the people in it. And to keep on bashing him and putting forward Harry and Meghan, who could have gone off nicely, but just don't want anyone to write anything bad about them. They've got such bitter attitude towards the press that they want to kill it off, accept their own choice. And we've seen what happens when they choose their own people. They do no wrong. They're absolutely perfect.
What struck me is, I thought, what's new in this? I mean, you've been following the royals for a while. I remember a reception at Kensington Palace a few years ago. You were there, I was there. And you could tell William was quite happy to talk openly to people. Harry was not happy with the press at all and was snipey at us all.
Yeah, that's what I said. It's very out of date already. We know most of it. Perhaps we'll have surprises next week when it's all re-edited again. But Harry can't forgive. He can't forgive the press. He still thinks they killed his mother, and he just is. He just feels very aggressive towards them, and obviously wants to protect Meghan. There's a difference between protection and actually being ridiculous and not allowing anybody to say things. And if she did feel that she had been misjudged, the Times did a piece where they meticulously went through everything, calling her a bully and saying how she was a bully and who had talked to them. She would have sued because she's very liable to sue. So the fact that she didn't, one can assume that that there is an element of truth there. But it's very out of date and quite boring, I think.
Angela, we'll leave it there.